Hey guys, the Riot is doing this podcast thing where we take all the really great stuff from our show and then we let everyone listen to them again.
Do you know we're almost to our year anniversary of joining the daily Worst of Riot podcast?
Dude.
We started that after Christmas last year.
Oh, like it's so cliche and it's so whatever, but like this year has just blown by.
I know. We used to do our podcast once a week and then we were always like, oh, it'd be too much to do it daily. And it actually turned out wonderful. And you guys really seem to like to get a dose of our podcast each and every day.
Yeah, I think it's been a great change. And we hear a lot more from you guys now that it's daily. And you know what? It's been great.
But we'll be almost to that anniversary.
We will be. Like, we're coming up on, it's nuts, man. Like, you know, Thanksgiving's next week. And we've got one more show left in us. Here's what's going to happen. You get the Riot tomorrow. And then Friday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Nothing.
That is nothing. We're off for Thanksgiving.
Riot's back on Black Friday. It'll be all Christmas music. So if you've never listened to the show live, you should really think about it. You can listen on our app. You can listen at RadioU.com. You can
find out if Radio U's on a radio station near you.
And we'll be there from 6 to noon Eastern on Black Friday playing all Christmas
music.
Excuse
what is
me.
going on over there?
So, was there a burp?
It was
I don't know what it was. But we're going to be live doing music, you know, for those 6 hours that day. And then, of course, next Wednesday, the Christmas channel launches.
That's right. Now, we'll send out for our Black Friday Christmas show. We won't send out the music, but we'll still send out some of
the
our
content and stuff.
So our podcast will be back then.
Yeah. So today in the podcast, we talk about my belt.
Your poor belt.
I need it.
Oh, it's gone.
Who wants to go belt shopping? Is there, like, can you think of very many things that are lamer than that? Like, hey, I need a belt. Like, I had to shop for a belt.
The only thing worse would be formal shopping.
Yes, like I need a new tuxedo.
Otherwise, I think the belt could be hard.
Pretty lame. We talk about the sexiest man alive, what GameStop is doing, a little bit of Justice League talk, whether it's costumes or Rotten Tomatoes, the Home Alone 2 experience, my great love of Winnie the Pooh, and a few other surprises.
So enjoy the podcast. Again, as we get ready to go to a holiday schedule.
Yes.
Make sure you always join us at Radio U Riot on our Facebook page to catch up with what else we've got going on.
I think that's it.
Have a great day.
It is the Riot.
Sometimes a bad example is the best example. It's the worst of the Riot on Radio U.
Now, Nikki, you and I have been friends for a while.
That's true.
And sometimes when you're friends for a while, you can ask somebody to do something that you wouldn't ask them if you had just become friends.
That's what the long friendship, that's one of the bonuses of it.
Actually, you know what? I take that back. There is a valley of not asking. When you first meet someone, you can probably get away with asking something.
Because it's new.
Yeah. Then there's the long valley of you could never ask them to do anything ever. And then you reach a point where it's okay to start asking again.
If it's someone you can ask to help you move, like really move, then you're fine.
Okay. Today.
Yeah.
All right. And again, this is awkward, but long-term friendship. So we can do this. Today, if we end up somewhere and we've got plans to be out today.
Sure.
And my pants are on the ground. I need you.
Yes, as a good friend.
I don't want you to say anything or like anything loud or whatever. I just want you to
like, hey.
Your pants.
Now, is this a news story or are your pants just loose today?
No. Here's what happened. I have a belt I've had for like a while. And this morning, not while I'm at home, mind you, after I got here, I bent down to pick something up off the floor and I just heard snap. And I was like,
the belt broke.
I was like, what? And the belt buckle has like snapped.
Well, you've had that as long as our friendship, so it was bound to go.
Yep. It's been the same belt. Like, I've had the same belt forever.
Sure. So now you're just used to the belt being there, but it's not.
Yeah. And like these pants, they're not like, they don't fit that great. So, like, they really need a belt.
They don't really hug your curves?
They really don't. They really don't. They kind of needed that belt. It was a thing.
And you're just, like, used to it. So even though it's not there, you probably still feel like it is.
No.
Oh, you notice?
I have a freedom I haven't felt in a long time.
You could eat big.
I totally could.
There's plenty of room.
I could really live it up today, big time.
So here's the question. If your belt broke... Is it such an emergency to where you must go to a store to buy a belt today, or can you order one and like it gets delivered?
I gotta go get one. Like I own 3 belts. I have a white belt that I used for a very particular outfit thing, whatever. Actually, no, I lost that. So I have like a black dress belt, which is reversible, by the way, because it's brown on one side and black on the other. Seemed like a smart purchase.
Then you had your casual belt.
Then I had my casual belt was the belt, and that's all.
Now you have nothing.
Right, so I'm traveling tomorrow. So like on the
one-day locker thing.
I know this is going to sound crazy, but I was thinking about going to a store where they sell clothes.
Oh, gosh.
And,
is it that bad?
And, like,
is it
getting
that bad?
Well, I thought I would buy one, and then I would have it, for my trip.
To check and then buy it online, and then...
Right.
Because a lot of times you do that.
I have no idea. No, like, that's the funny thing, too.
You're going to be disappointed if you go to the store. Do you know why?
Why?
Because you need a belt. So it's not going to be at the store.
Belts.
The one that you would like.
Like a size that I would need.
Yeah.
They'll be like, well, what are you, sir, a 22-inch waist? Yes, I'll take... 3 of those.
Can you stitch them together for me?
Do we hook each one?
Not that it wouldn't fit you, but just whenever you really need something and there's no time left, and you go out to try to find it, there'll be nothing.
I get it.
There'll be swimsuits, and there won't be belts.
I went to, there was this one time I needed a tie. I was out somewhere, and I went to 2 large retailers, and they were like, yeah, we got this purple and yellow striped tie. It's the last one we have.
That's all you get.
A tie sale. How come you weren't here at 4 a.m. for the ties?
You'd be missing out. So just a slight warning there that
I already know.
If you feel you should have a backup plan, you could always maybe mail a belt to you where you're going on vacation.
It hurts me that you're saying that because I know how true it is.
It's a voice of wisdom.
I already knew. Like when I saw the belt, I was like, that replacing this
is going to be hard.
Going to be impossible. Like, it will be impossible to replace this today. It's like, why? Because you need it.
Because you put years into that belt.
Like, if you would have been casual about it, like, yeah, I might pick one up. They'd be everywhere. BOGO. Buy one, get one. But
without a coupon.
Yeah. But today, no. There are no belts anywhere ever.
So we'll see how it goes.
Pretty excited about it.
It's good that you don't have to add it to your to-do list today.
The Riots Turn It Down.
And rip the knob off.
Radio U.
It was a couple of weeks ago that we talked about GameStop's brand new unlimited used game rental program.
Now,
it's a lot of words.
There's a lot of stuff there.
There is.
You have to unpack, I feel like, a lot of that.
So here's GameStop's deal. They were going to start something up on November 18th, but it looks like it was November 19th. And it was this. You'd go to GameStop.
Yeah.
You pay $60 up front.
A year or?
6 months.
6 months?
So basically $10 a month, but you had to pay for the whole thing up front. So you do your $60. You walk in, and you can take any used game in the store home with you. Then when you're done with that game, you bring it back. You can take any other used game in the store home with you. You're like, well, it's like a rental program. It's like going to Blockbuster, if you remember what that was.
But the Blockbuster was the used section of the store.
Right. So nothing new, but used. But then again, if it was something that was really new, but just slightly used, whatever. Like, it didn't matter how old or new the game was, as long as it was open.
But I guess that is a good point. You'd pretty much guarantee, though, you wouldn't get the newest right out the release date. You'd have to wait until those start being sold back to them.
And then you'd probably end up in stiff competition with everybody else that was trying to get that one copy.
So that is something to keep into consideration for new video games.
So it was going to be called Power Pass. You'll notice that I keep using past tense here. Gonna be's, would'ves.
Is it already canceled, or?
They just canceled it.
Already?
Yes.
People just were not into it?
Well, no. They ran a pilot program where some people could get in on it, and some people have.
Yeah.
And the reason that they're shutting it down is basically, they don't come out and say it, but the speculation from a lot of people that are reporting in this Engadget story are saying that their computers basically couldn't handle it.
Oh, the store was not set up for that.
The system was really not set up for it.
Sure.
And so there is a chance that they will end up bringing it back at some point. But here we go. Specified the rollout was being paused, not canceled, due to program limitations. So we don't know when or if it will be public again, but they say it will be, but we'll see.
You shouldn't have really talked about it quite yet. I'm kind of surprised, but it's true if it's not available yet. Like if they just can't handle it and they got to slowly rebuild the infrastructure of the store. Uh-huh. They probably wanted to make a lot of money on this, and now they're going to have to spend a lot of money to make it possible.
That's not what they were looking for. They're like, we got all this crap laying around. Why don't we see if we can make money on the crap?
Let's just use it. Why don't we?
Yeah. The other thing that at the end of the program, you got to keep a game. which I thought that was kind of cool. Like all of that, and then at the end of it, you at least get something to keep permanently. Like I liked the sound of that, but that's the story, Nikki. Power Pass on hold, which is another way of your parents saying, we'll see.
Maybe. Well, they turned the car around for
they
sure.
They really did turn the car around.
It went home.
You don't have to apologize unless you've done something wrong.
Well, I'm sorry. I can't even think straight right now.
This is the worst of the riot. We're very, very sorry.
Well, it happened again. I was completely glanced over. And I feel like it might have had something to do with the belt incident.
The belt, Obi's belt broke today.
I did, but once again, I have been passed over for people's sexiest man alive.
Aw, it's a shame to hear.
Nikki, who do you think it is, or do you already know?
I already know. I saw. It's the one guy from The Voice, who I believe is a country artist as well, but I can't confirm it. And a lot of people think Eric looks like him, but it is a Blake something.
Now, to be clear, I'm not in any way, calling into question Eric's sexiness.
No, not like that, but just like at glance. No, you don't understand. A lot of
women,
older
in the
women,
store,
yes, think that he looks like
Eric,
it.
and they're just like, oh, if I was a younger woman.
They're like, you remind me of the one guy. Could be the flannel, could be he has more of a beard now.
I was going to say, like, if you take Eric with a partial beard and
then
Eric's
it would
more
look
filled
more
in there, I kind of see it. Sure, I kind of see it. Like, but not a... No, okay. The longer I look...
Goodness, don't look too much. You don't have to.
Oh, Nikki, I like to look at Blake Shelton. He's the sexiest man
Okay.
alive.
I have to tell you, though, Eric's beard is getting so long, and I've just asked if we could just,
trim it back a little.
Trim it back a little bit.
He's getting a curl in there.
Because he started to do woodworking, and he's been wearing, like, flannel and all this stuff, and so he looks like more Amish, or what's the other word, Mennonite?
Okay, well, let's get him a big round hat.
There was, when I pulled in home, the neighbors are doing something in their backyard.
Pulled the buggy in?
No, there was a group of guys who were Amish or Mennonite, I think, who were driving a truck and who were doing the woodworking for that house. I drove by and I smiled, but they wouldn't really look at me. Eric said he'd drive by and they nodded because he looks like...
He's like them.
He looks just like them, and I thought, you got to just cut this beard back.
We've got to get Eric some suspenders.
So more than Blake Shelton, I think he looks more Amish.
Well, he's the sexiest.
Blake Shelton?
So everybody just stop even trying today.
What do you get with that besides the cover?
I think you get on the cover. Now, I don't know this, but I'd like to think there's a gift basket involved.
Like if you won an award.
But you don't want to indulge in that basket too much because pretty soon you're the former sexiest man alive. Got a little midsection growing there. They don't want to see that. So I think it might
have... Any runners up or?
I don't see any runners up. Oh, yeah, and he's married to Gwen Stefani.
No, they're not married yet.
Oh, okay. They're together.
They're just dating.
Okay. Sorry. Thank you, Nikki.
I mean, if you're dating with marriage in mind...
Oh, my, Gwen Stefani. But that's a story for another time. Hey, I can't remember what I wanted to tell you.
That was it. That's all we got.
No. This is what it made me think of. I don't understand what's going on with The Voice, but I think in the last week, I've had, rough estimate, 1,400 people ask me, like, well, don't you watch The Voice?
Sure.
I'm like, no.
Of course you do.
No,
just tell them you do and just nod your head.
Oh, it is the best.
It's actually...
Oh, my gosh.
I don't ever watch the show, but I like to watch the clips of it. So that's about it. Like the good performances.
The other thing that appeals to me is the chairs they sit in. I feel like in the chairs they sit in, it's like... I feel like Captain Kirk is talking down to me.
You could really do something if you had that chair.
I know. Like, maybe I would seem sexy if I was sitting in a chair like that.
You're not going to win that award until you have that.
Yeah, but if you saw me next to Gwen Stefani, you'd be like, it's a ruse. He's ugly, guys. Just kidding. It's not him.
Hey, let's not get down on ourselves, okay?
I'm sorry.
There's a team of people.
You know what?
We don't have that. We're normal, everyday people.
I like a little bit of the negative self-talk escaping.
That is
I'm
not
sorry.
Wanted in this room.
But you know what? I don't care what awards they give him. I'm still not watching The Voice.
Okay.
And if you guys watch it, that's fine. I'm not here to tell you that it's wrong to do. I'm just here to tell you that no matter how many times you ask me, I'm not going to. I'm just going to wander into a Voice showing to see what I think. I already know.
With virtual reality, the possibilities are endless. It gives us the ability to live out any of our wildest dreams. So maybe we can use it to pretend the riot doesn't exist. The Riot on Radio U.
Nikki, 2 Home Alones in 2 days.
Well, what do you mean?
Yesterday we talked about Home Alone because we found out about the tickets that you already knew about, and so did everybody else except for me.
Just a Reddit thing about that from yesterday.
See yesterday's podcast available now at riot.radiou.com.
So is there another story about it?
Yeah, about Home Alone 2. So this is the sequel to us talking about it, and it's talking about the sequel. This is like the best day we've ever had.
Well, we're almost to Christmas, guys, or by that I mean Thanksgiving, which is a time when they start airing Home Alones.
Nikki, this actually is so perfect for you. Last night, Nikki and I were talking about, like, hey, if, for a couple days, Nikki wanted to have a little getaway. Where could she go? I have it now.
Where should I go?
Well, I'll tell you what. The Plaza Hotel
in
New York City is offering the Home Alone 2 experience.
I don't know what that means. I don't remember Home Alone 2.
Okay, where he's in New York?
Well,
Home
I know
Alone
he's
2
in New York, but
and he's at the hotel?
I don't recall the story with it.
Okay, well, here's the deal. He goes to the hotel with
Am I going to get robbed there, and that's part of the experience at the hotel?
Well, I mean, there might be a couple surprises. I don't know. But Kevin McAllister, the father. And so he's got... Anyway, look, you go to the Plaza Hotel, and you get to spend the night there. You get a 4-hour limo ride around New York City.
Nice.
Where they will take you to all the different stops from the movie.
Around the block.
Right.
Because of traffic.
It does take a while.
It does, but you're blocking 4 hours, though. That should be enough.
To get around. It takes a while. But you get that. You get a night in the hotel. You get to have a huge sundae like Kevin did. And they have a limo something. Or no, I'm sorry. I said limo. Like a food thing set up where you get to eat. And it's supposed to be childlike foods, but served big.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
I think it sounds... I want to do it.
And may we ask how much it is?
Well, okay... It's how much it's worth.
I know, but
and then,
we're putting a price on it. They are.
Yes, we're hanging a price tag on this. Could you tell me
how
what
much
you think it's worth?
Is it one night, you said?
One night.
At the Plaza?
The Plaza Hotel.
With the experience, is it a big room?
I mean, I hope so.
Looks nice during the holidays?
I hope it's nice.
I would say $4,000.
Oh, you know what? You're going to be thrilled when I give you the price.
Is it cheaper?
Oh, it's way lower than that.
$3,000?
The Home Alone 2 experience is $895.
Oh, my gosh.
I mean,
look at that.
You pay that for a bedbug hotel in New York City.
Oh, you kind of would. That is getting close to that. So, that's great. That's affordable, right?
I want to go.
You get all that food?
The package is available to book from December 1st, 2017 to October 29th, 2018.
Still time.
I can only imagine that they're doing this because things must be rough at the hotel.
You said that. I did not.
Doesn't that what this feels
like that. I don't think it's going to be one of their nicer rooms at that price.
Probably not. But dude, I want in, Nikki. I want to go. Like, I want to go have the Kevin McAllister Home Alone 2 New York experience. You get a limo. And I better have a cheese pizza in there for me. I'll tell you that right now.
Now, you can build that yourself, that package. It might end up being a little cheaper. Maybe just take a look.
Well, how much does it cost to stay at the Plaza? You've been a lot of times. What did you pay for that?
I have never been to the Plaza Hotel.
Oh,
but if it's a room around Christmas, that is about the price if you're going to New York. Cheap. So that's about it.
All right, look, here we go. Expedia, if you and I wanted to stay in the Plaza Hotel Monday night, next Monday, it's the earliest booking I can find, $816. Now, that does not include a limo or the pizza
food.
or the sundae.
We are saving money.
It's the worst of the riot, because calling it the best of the riot would be a lie. Radio U.
So, Nikki, back on this Justice League thing, I feel like we need to dig in here because the reviews are out.
The reviews are?
Mm-hmm.
And?
Justice League reviews. There's a guy I really like named Eric Vespi. He's a writer, and he says, dude, I got to read his tweets to you. Just saw Justice League. I can tell you the guy sitting next to me dressed head to toe as Superman thought it was perfect because he said that in a full voice every 5 minutes.
Oh, how funny.
No spoilers, but the word you've been hearing is right. Justice League is a step in the right direction, but super choppy and oddly without any real feeling or large stakes. There's lots of spectacle, but I never felt like the Justice League was ever in over their heads.
Like they couldn't have handled it?
Right. But, I mean, they are the Justice League. So
according to the trailer, Superman is dead.
Well, he's not dead.
But I know he's not dead, and I just want to make sure.
Man, okay, can I just say, like, that was one of the things I hate about Batman v Superman. Like, the terrible Martha reveal was bad enough, but like if we're doing the Doomsday story with the Superman death, like how much can we cram in this thing already? And that's another thing where it's like, showing me Superman is dead, but you've shown me pictures of Henry Cavill in the Justice League movie. This has zero impact.
You're not worried.
None. Okay. Like if I already know what's going to happen, I can't go on an emotional journey with you here. Like where Batman's standing at Superman's grave like, oh, we got a problem. And I'm like, yeah, how long does it take for him to come back? And are you going to introduce that guy?
But they want you to. It was like the Kingsman one with the second movie with Colin Firth, where it's like, hey, he was thought to be dead, but you see him in the trailer and he's back, obviously.
He's rocking that eye patch.
The studios want you to go if they think your favorite character, like nothing really happened. He's back.
You got to come back. You got to see what's going on. So yeah, the reviews are out. But here's something interesting. Do you know what's not out yet? The Rotten Tomatoes score is not out yet. I can tell you why. Rotten Tomatoes has started their own online show, and they are starting to do Rotten Tomatoes score reveals.
Oh, come on. Okay.
You think I'm kidding?
I'm not, but I'm just saying, like, Rotten Tomatoes.
So here's the deal.
You have to wait for them to do the score reveal, and then the scores stay.
You can go and read any review. 2:50 a.m. Eastern today, Warner Brothers lifted their review embargo.
Yeah.
So that enables journalists and whoever else to write whatever the heck they want about the movie. But See It, Skip It, the Rotten Tomatoes show, that will not air until 12:01 a.m. Thursday. So what, like
tomorrow?
12 or so hours from now is when that, and then on their show, they will do the score unveiling, and then it'll be posted forever.
Can't just post it?
Can't just post it, Nikki. They need you to watch the show and hopefully see the ads, which will then, you'll get the score. The thing that gets me is that in a lot of ways, Rotten Tomatoes, now I could be wrong because I often check a Rotten Tomatoes score just to get an idea of like where everybody's at. But arguably, Rotten Tomatoes doesn't really have anything to offer. The Rotten Tomatoes score is an aggregate. So they are
score.
So now, instead of going to the Rotten Tomatoes score, I'm going to the reviews instead of just the score. In a lot of ways, the reviewers are winning. Even the studios are winning because I'm doing this. And Rotten Tomatoes loses because after I've read 5 reviews, I'm not going to care what the score is anymore.
You're right.
But it's their business model. So
I didn't actually ask.
Who am I?
For all the opinions.
To tell them.
No, but I agree.
The other side of it is, though, there are probably plenty of people, unlike me, that won't read the reviews and will just go see the score. So, maybe there's room for all of us, Nikki.
Hey, there's actually plenty of people who won't even care about the score. They're just going to go see the movie.
Well, I already told you. I don't want to see it, but I have to. So I just gotta go do my comic book duty.
Ever wonder what Nikki is doing when she isn't rioting?
Find her Twitter feed at riot.radiou.com.
Obadiah's is there too, but who cares what he's doing?
Raise your hand if you woke up in a kimono.
Did you?
I don't know. Did you?
Well, that more be like the robe you would put around your pajamas or something.
I saw a headline this morning that's probably my favorite headline of the whole day. It literally is. The headline is, "The kimono fad we're all waking up to."
I mean, did you not know that was around?
Last night, I went to bed. I was honestly just like boxers and a T-shirt. Woke up in a kimono.
Now you're a part of the fad.
It's magic. I'm wearing a kimono right now. And you know what?
I think that would be comfortable.
Oh, I imagine it's incredibly comfortable. But I don't want to wear those traditional Japanese wooden slippers.
Oh, you don't?
No.
It's probably good for your feet.
Maybe.
I mean, it has to be so ancient and so good.
Probably.
where it's like what we don't realize is we're killing ourselves with our cushion sole. What we needed was some really hard shoes.
Well, I don't want them.
Well, I mean, we have to just learn. Here, you can get more like a daily kimono, like one that goes with your outfit.
Yeah. Wait, but the kimono is the outfit, right?
No, the kimono would be almost like wearing a jacket.
Okay, I just want you to know right now, I want you to right now start a website called The Daily Kimono.
Just posting daily pictures?
It's daily kimono pics, and you could offer for sale a daily kimono. Like, here's a floral plant, blah, blah, blah.
Honestly,
kimono.
This goes back to the summertime. They said it's the one summer trend everyone should add, and now it looks like it's finally catching on.
Well, everybody wants a
kimono. Yeah.
Okay. Nikki, what about you? Kimono? Or is it a kimono?
Oh, boy. Oh, boy. First off.
Don't you see?
If that was your review show, we would all tune in.
That's another great section for your Daily Kimono website, the kimono.
Or the kimono, yes.
And here's Wendy Williams stepping out in her kimono. No, you didn't.
Oh, here's 26 ways to style a kimono. So we got lots of options.
And because we know how to parse content, Nikki, that's 26 days of postings. Because it's only a daily post on the Daily Kimono.
You're right.
All your tips and trends for kimono needs.
Yeah, I would feel out of place here at Radio U if I was wearing a kimono.
But what if we all did? It became our new thing. We were all wearing kimonos.
I thought that might be weird.
All right. Well, I think it sounds nice. Be comfortable. We could also just look into always wearing our jammies.
The comfy pants. I wish it was just more accepted. Not even the yoga pants, but the truly comfy pants.
Like, what do you mean?
Like the not quite fleece, but like the super soft ones.
Okay, all right.
Yoga pants still are tight, but yet the comfy pants, they're not.
Well, what about, here's something to think about, and I've done this. I have some warm-up pants, because I'm so athletic, but on the inside, they're basically just stuffed with foam and whatever.
Just exactly like that.
So when I wear them, I'm like, look, I'm headed to the gym right now.
Yeah.
When in reality, I'm still in bed.
So that would be the perfect outfit. Maybe if we can find a kimono that pairs well with that, then we've got an outfit.
Daily Kimono. I can't wait till Nikki starts her multimedia empire.
If that's how I make my millions, I'm going to just die. And then you can put me in my kimono.
Perfect.
Nikki and Obadiah. Obadiah and Nikki.
Love, hate, hate, love.
All right, everyone in, let's go.
It's the worst of the riot on Radio U.
Nikki, there are some things in my life that I love that I'm not apologetic about. I love Winnie the Pooh. I do. My whole life I have. You're like, nope. I like Winnie the Pooh.
Well, just to show you how weird it is, I, who've enjoyed bears, just loving them my whole entire life and childhood, never got into Winnie the Pooh.
Well, just to show you how judgmental you are, you said, let me show you how weird it is. So you called it weird.
No, it's weird that you would assume I would be the one who would have been more into Winnie the Pooh.
Hey, I love Winnie the Pooh. I don't know why. I just do. He makes me smile when I see him. I one time saw a really big stuffed Winnie the Pooh, and I wanted to take it home, and I don't understand it. I don't get it.
Do you really like honey, or?
No. I mean, I'll eat honey. I like to sometimes get a good sourdough with a good Irish salted butter, and then with a nice locally sourced honey.
Ooh, now that sounds good.
Now that's a toast that'll make you sit down.
Or stand up if you're ready for the day.
I don't know which one it is, but it's going to work you over. I love Winnie the Pooh. I just do. I love the characters. My favorite is Gopher. He is my favorite. The way they make that accordion sound when he walks, and he's always talking to himself, and then he falls in the hole. I love that. And he's the guy he's the guy that shows up. Winnie the Pooh ate too much, and he got stuck in Rabbit's hole, and so they just had to starve him out.
Is the crew of Winnie the Pooh like the Justice League? They're all individuals, and they all have their strengths.
They were my early childhood superhero team, and so... I just...
Well, what's the Winnie the Pooh news?
Well, here's the deal, Nikki. Sometimes when you make somebody mad just the right way, like if you would approach them the right way, they would have said, you know what, it's okay. I'm going to let it go. But because you did it that way, I'm going to fight you until I die.
Now it's a problem.
Mm-hmm. Nikki and I know all about that. Well, here's a problem that they're having. This is in... What part of Pennsylvania is it in? I don't know, but I'll tell you this. Starting in August of 2012, this couple made themselves a custom mailbox that looked like Tigger.
Cute.
And they put the Tigger box, T-I-G-G-R, out in front of their house. And
what's wrong with that?
Well,
as long as your zoning laws and your home, the HOA.
Well, the Homeowners Association said they were like, no Tiggers allowed.
And that's actually pretty common, I would think, in a lot of communities. They want them all to look the same.
Mm-hmm.
That's not where you should be expressing yourself.
They were just like, you know what? I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're just going to go ahead and fight you until we die on this. How's that sound?
We're never going to give up.
We're just going to do that. The Tigger mailbox was a gift to their daughter who loved Tigger. And so the HOA is like, no. And they were just like, you know what? We just have piles of money, so we're going to go to court forever.
And ever and ever and ever while the Tigger mailbox stays right there.
So after 5 years
of court stuff,
they have finally said, no, the Tigger mailbox has to go. But joke's on them, because their daughter's probably grown up enough now not to care. Because unlike me, most people reach a point where they don't like Winnie the Pooh anymore, and they don't care. So I'm sure their daughter's fine, and they're just like, I wasted your time.
They won.
Mm-hmm. So they have to take it down now, and that's it.
I'd go out with a baseball bat and just start wailing on it. Just for funny, like, what's she doing? She's lost it.
No, I'd replace it, and then I would just be like, oh, did you guys see my 30-foot-tall inflatable Tigger that I put out back for the holidays?
They'd be fighting all the rules.
My gosh, that's what I would do. I would get an inflatable Tigger that I would set out every day. And
you're instigating then.
A 5-year court case is not instigation.
That's
there's
commitment.
An attitude here from these people, Nikki. They're committed. So that's what I would do. I would put that Tigger out there, and then when they're like, you have to take it down, it's not the holidays, I would be like, are you infringing on my Christian beliefs? Yes! You could go all the way with that one. All the way with that. Like, you cannot infringe upon my ability to celebrate my religion as I want.
Why don't you just go ahead and contact these people and let them know?
I'm
you
gonna
got
help
some
them.
great ideas.
I'm going to help them and be like, and hey, you know what? You guys want to get together and watch the Pooh movie or something?
Hey, you want to go back to court for another 5 years? We got the way.
Hey, I'm making it 15. You're going to the Supreme Court now, baby.
Let's go.
The HOA is just like, oh, gosh.
We could have just let him kept the Tigger mailbox.
You did this!
The Riot with Obadiah.
Oh, loneliness and cheeseburgers are a dangerous mix.
The Riot with Nikki.
Shut up.
Oh, don't tell me to shut up!
The Riot on Radio U.
I got to tell you something, Nikki. As far as I'm concerned, Super Mario Odyssey is a winner.
I think so, too. We've had enough time with it.
Oh, I just love Super Mario Odyssey. That being said, you always feel like Mario could have a little more. You know, Mario's getting his own theme park as part of a Universal Studios thing. So there's that. But what he doesn't really have yet is a successful movie.
True.
And I mean, look, he does not have a successful movie.
Was there ever a movie?
Live action movie that no one wants to talk about.
When was that?
Except to talk about how bad it is. I've never seen it. Sometime in the 80s.
80s? Okay.
Yeah.
Did he have a TV show?
Oh, yeah.
Mario had one?
Do you ever watch the animated Super Mario Brothers Super Show?
Don't think so.
Captain Lou Albano?
I did not. What?
Really?
No.
Swing your arms from side to side. Come on, it's time to go do the Mario.
No, never had a chance to see that. I'm sure it's on YouTube.
Oh, it's on Netflix.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, I've never seen it there.
Wow. Okay, well, Nikki, you and I have homework.
We've got lots to do. And maybe a new movie, too.
All right, well, that's exactly right. It looks like the people at Nintendo are talking to the people at Illumination about a Super Mario Brothers movie. Now, who are the people at Illumination? Think the Minions.
Yeah, the one thing.
Despicable Me 1, Despicable Me 2, and Despicable Me 3.
I thought they did something else, so they would be doing an animated Mario movie.
They would. There's only one thing that I want to throw out here for just a minute. While I have certainly enjoyed the Despicable Me movies, I did not enjoy the Minions movie. It's too French, which I know. Okay.
I mean, I get what you're saying.
All right, let me just tell you right now. The British have a very unique sense of humor, right? Yeah. I mean, like if you watch English humor, you either kind of get it or you don't. I love British humor. Love it. Nikki does too. I can enjoy Asian humor. Asian humor, especially Japanese humor, you'll find like it's really kinetic. It's a lot of physical jokes. It's a lot of like over the top kind of stuff and that kind of anime sensibilities. French humor is a lot of like, here's my underwear. Like, here's my butt.
Yes, exactly. It is.
If you look at the Minions movie, if you're familiar with foreign films and whatever, it just feels like a very French thing. And then you start digging in, and it's like, hey, this is a French studio. These are French writers. Like, it makes sense that it would feel the way it does.
Now, outside of Minions, though, last year they did A Secret Life of Pets, which was one of the top movies last year. And
I didn't like it.
Well, I liked that one. That was less French feeling. And,
I agree with you.
And Sing, which was the
Sing was a hit.
Singing movie.
I did see Sing.
So that was one, too.
Man, I see all the animated movies. I see all the movies.
Well, they're easy to get into. It's fine.
This conversation has made me feel better about it because you're right.
It's not
Sing
just Minions.
and Secret Life of Pets. If they can do that, they could do a Mario Brothers movie. What I don't want is a Mario Brothers movie with the Minion sensibilities. That's pretty much what it comes down to.
But the others show that they can branch out from that.
Yeah. Ooh, dude, I'm on board then. Like, I think an animated Mario Brothers movie is a huge missed opportunity for Nintendo. And I mean, you can see them branching out. They put Mario on phones. That Animal Crossing game is coming to phones. Fire Emblem's there.
I see if they got it right, then the Mario and Luigi movie series could go a really long time.
Pretty much forever.
If they did it right.
Into all eternity. I mean, part of me would rather see Pixar do it, but then it would be like Mario's tragic backstory about his dead mom and
it'd be way too much.
About a kid that used to play Mario Brothers but doesn't play anymore.
I actually feel like it's better they went with the other company because you're right. Pixar would be way too intense with it.
I don't want to cry during a Mario Brothers movie. I just don't. So,
and I don't want to have to look for the hidden messages. It's just, it is what it is, and this is the movie.
I'm looking for something a little more straightforward.
To tie it all in together with all the other ones.
Okay. I'm glad we had this talk.
We thought about selling the worst of the riot, but let's be honest, no one is buying this stuff. Get it for free on the Radio U app.
Here's something that's a little weird to me. Bose. You know, Bose,
the speaker people?
The people that have the $80,000 speakers.
Which tends to be parents or grandparents who buy it.
They're so expensive, their speakers are. But anyway, they're doing a crowdfunding campaign.
For what?
Exactly.
How do they not have enough money?
Yes. What is this?
What are they trying to do?
Bose is doing a crowdfunding campaign, which they reached basically immediately. They were trying to raise $50,000, and Bose people are like, $50,000, that's one speaker.
Easy.
That's no big deal. I'll take a speaker.
I mean, I don't know how well they've been doing lately.
I don't either.
They're not
honestly.
usually, no offense, but they're not where we do tend to think that they're overpriced.
Now, in fairness, though, they are very good at making a small speaker with a big sound. Like
sure.
they do that, but you know what? That's fine. I'll just make a big speaker with a big sound. It's no big deal.
Problem solved.
I'm good. I ain't scared of it. So they wanted to raise $50,000 on Indiegogo. They have raised $443,000 so far, with 23 days left in their backing.
What?
Well, I will tell you, they are making what they call the Bose noise masking sleep buds. So here's the idea. Imagine a set of completely wireless earbuds that you will put in your ear, and it will actually do a couple of different things. They're noise canceling, so you could turn on active noise cancellation. So, like, let's say that, somebody snores. Like, dude, when I was a kid, my stepdad snored so loud, he was 2 bedrooms over, and I was
crazy.
Like, man, I hope I get to sleep before he does. Because it was loud, right?
Because if not, you're not sleeping.
Right. So you can just do straight noise cancellation, but then it will also do, I think it'll do like babbling brook and like a few other sounds that it will do. And that's what it's for.
Comfortable, like they just go right in your ear.
They do look cozy, and you can. Oh man, look at that! They've sold out of all their early bird pricing.
You know why? Because this is all about the snoring stuff, and that's the older people thing.
You think that's what it is?
That's why they're all over this thing.
Actually, you may
they're
be
like,
right
please give me anything, I'll pay you whatever.
Whatever you need.
And we're just like, more just earbuds that you'll wear throughout the day.
Okay, now this is the new hotness. I didn't check this. You can set an alarm for them, so they will wake you up in your ears.
Oh,
but that
good.
Alarm is not broadcasted. To
everybody else.
Yeah,
that'd be good if you have a lot of roommates.
Boy, I really am liking that you got right there.
It's just very hard because, well, did you say how much these will be? Okay, so $150 to $185. Well, wait.
I know, but if you look, they're all sold out. So if you want to buy them, can you even buy them?
I don't know when they become.
I'm clicking on back it. Oh, the only thing they'll let me do is make a donation.
to give towards it. We'll
Yeah.
just see if they want to create it. So $150 to $185 it looks like the pair would be, which is kind of on par for like the AirPods or something.
Yeah.
But these are much smaller. It's just, it depends on what your ears like. And for earbuds, not everything fits right. That's a lot of money.
That is.
Especially at night, they're gonna roll right on out.
I have eyeballed some of those. Like, I mean, the earpods is that what they are? The AirPods. Okay, the AirPods are a good example. JBL, there are a bunch of companies that have basically done the AirPod thing where they are a completely wireless earbud.
They're awesome.
I have a pair of they're not JZ. They're Jaybird headphones, but they have a cord that still goes between the ear.
Around.
Yeah, and I don't mind it, for working out or whatever.
For everything we've talked about, they're not comfortable to sleep in.
No, they're not.
So that's what these are. These are supposed to be for you to be able to sleep in.
Yeah, so that's a great idea.
Your poor ears will never get a break.
Yeah, and I just got to say, I really hope that, the fire alarm doesn't go off. There isn't somebody banging at your door desperately needing help, and you're like...
From the noise canceling?
It's amazing. My whole neighborhood went to war, and I slept through the whole thing.
Which is what you want. I slept like a baby.
My house did burn down, but the fire department rescued me
out.
Took me to the hospital, and I woke up in this bed. I don't even know what happened.
Now that's the sign of good earbuds.
I felt very rested. Does anybody know my insurance company's phone number?
The Riot is the radio equivalent of Taco Bell meat. Radio U.
So taking a look at this list of what are the... okay.
They always call them like the dangerous toys of the season.
It's the watch list, and it stands for World Against Toys Causing Harm, and this is their annual list of the most dangerous toys. But I'll have to say, I feel like this year they were really having to work at it, because the toys that they've listed, you're like,
I think it'd be fine.
Like, for example, Pull-Along Pony. Pull-Along Pony it's a little toy that has a 19-inch cord that raises concerns of strangulation. But by this argument, so would a shoestring. Like, I got shoestrings for my shoes for Christmas, and I accidentally choked myself on them.
Okay, so you don't agree with that one.
It just seems a little like a bit of a stretch. How about the heel wheels? These are from Razor, and they strap onto your shoes, and they basically take a regular pair of shoes and turn them into Heelys, I guess. So they're skates, but apparently they have real sparking action, and that sparking could burn you.
Okay.
Okay. All right, sure.
They're always such, like you said, it's like a stretch, though.
Okay, the Wonder Woman battle action sword. It looks awesome.
But why, outside of it being a sword, I mean, that can't be why. There's other things that are swords.
Yeah, but they say blunt force injuries. So in other words, this sword toy could be used as a weapon to hit you with. But
that's anything.
Couldn't we also say that a baseball bat could cause the very same danger? That
pull-along pony thing you were talking, you could just knock someone with that.
Yeah, what if somebody tripped on pull-along pony, which is... I'm going to be using that as a joke. Pull-along pony. Hallmark's Itty Bitty's baby stacking toy. Small and larger rings that pose a risk of strangulation and suffocation. So it's a twofer. They say any fidget spinner because something could fall off and be a choking hazard.
Well, certain fidget spinners have these like rubber parts in them, like the cheaper ones, and those can fall out. And then I guess if you feel the need to eat your fidget spinner, then...
How about this one? The oval xylophone. It looks like just about the safest toy ever. There's no moving parts. There's no whatever. Well, the xylophone comes with a stick that you hit the xylophone with. That could cause bodily injury if somebody hit somebody else with the stick.
Then you can't have any toys.
Well, I mean, technically, any toy could be used to hit somebody with and cause...
They have to fill the list, though.
All right, so a Zombie Strike crossbow from Nerf, the risk of eye and face injuries. And the Spider-Man drone, they say that the spinning... drone helicopter things.
Could hurt you.
Yeah, you could put your finger in them and that would hurt you.
All right, well, now we've done our duty and passed along the dangerous toys.
This list is super lame. And I mean, I know, it's not like we were going to say, but I thought they would really have, whatever Barbie choking hazard because the pieces are too small. That's a legit choking hazard. Telling me that the xylophone handle can be used as a weapon.
No, it depends on It's hard. It depends on the age group for the toys. Like anybody can get a hold of any of these toys, but if you're under the age group that they're suggested for, then why are you putting it on the list?
In my hand, the 16-ounce Contigo stainless steel mug.
It's dangerous. Put it down.
I could throw this and hit you in the face, Nikki.
It'd be on next year's list
It's
then.
on the dangerous coffee mug list.
Because you can hurt with it.
We're going to have to generate that list. Watch. Thank you, Watch. Thank you.
Wish the worst of the riot would never end?
Everything that has a beginning has an end.
What is wrong with you? Get our daily podcast through iTunes, Google Play, or the Radio U app.
You can always hit us up at riot.radiou.com as well. See what we're, doing.
That way you can follow as Obi goes on vacation later tomorrow.
Yeah.
In case there's any fun things.
Actually, yeah. If you want to follow me, especially on Twitter and Instagram, I have a tendency to Instagram a lot on vacation, but it won't be the stuff that you're expecting. Like, here's Obadiah at the sunset. It'll be stuff like, this sign is stupid. That's
good quality content.
That's how I Instagram on vacation.
You have a certain theme about your feed.
I do. So, I mean, if that's what you're into, Obadiah Radio U on Instagram and Twitter, that'll be a good place to hit me up. Hey, speaking of pictures, Nikki, Justice League is out on Friday, and, it's a little controversial because apparently the Amazonian warriors show up.
Oh, my gosh.
Okay, so here's the deal.
I can't stand this story.
It really? Okay.
It bothers me so much.
There's a fascinating spin on it, which is why I'm bringing it up.
Sure.
Okay, if you saw Wonder Woman, the Amazonian warriors have, body armor. And if you see Justice League, the Amazonian warriors have leather bikinis. Essentially.
It's a different costume for that movie.
Now, here's what I think is interesting. USA Today reached out to the women who were the stars in the movie.
Who wore the updated costumes?
Who wore the updated costumes and just said, hey, did you feel like you were objectified, et cetera, et cetera? And you're not going to like their responses.
If I said no.
They loved them.
They loved them?
They loved them.
But they're not actually warriors.
Well, you might be surprised.
They're very fit.
Most of them are champion athletes.
I guess my problem that I had with it is, the Wonder Woman costumes were created and they said, there was a woman director, woman costume designer with them. They're full body. It's not like... it's not full
we're
body.
Still seeing their legs.
But it's a more realistic approach to what armor would be if you were an actual Amazonian fighting person,
right,
I guess.
Except don't shoot them in the legs. Because that leg's coming right off.
Well, you got to be able to move.
And the shoulders.
You got
Not
to
a
be
lot
able
of coverage
to swing
there.
your sword. But it was more realistic where women, we feel like we're not usually given a lot of clothes.
They're essentially, the Amazon warriors and Wonder Woman are wearing metal one-piece swimsuits.
Yeah, think of it that way.
Yeah.
Now, what really annoyed me the most is those costumes were then given to be used in Justice League, but Zack Snyder and the new costume people opted not to use a fully set up amount of costumes. They didn't have to spend extra money, nothing, but instead they spent a lot of money to create a new look for it.
I don't think they spent a lot of money.
They spent money. Well, no, you'd be surprised
You don't need that much fabric to design these costumes.
How that is still expensive to redesign costumes when you already had the look of the people for the costumes.
Yeah. Now, admittedly, from my perspective, I thought the Wonder Woman costumes were awesome.
Mm-hmm.
They just looked awesome. They were super cool. And this really looks like...
Now you're back.
Like Escape from New York or something. It's this really low budget, cheap looking costume. But I was fascinated, and I thought it was an interesting angle. The USA Today was like, okay, everybody's all up in a fuss, but let's ask the actual women who are quote unquote being objectified by these costumes how they feel about the way they're being represented. And they were like, let's see, I was overjoyed with the mobility I had and needed to complete the moves that were asked of me.
You have the freedom because there was no armor.
So let's see. This woman is a martial artist, and she was very excited about hers. And let's see, what about this? This other girl's a CrossFit champion, and she said, "I'm an athlete, right? I can't wear anything without someone commenting about my body. So for me, it was really cool to be able to show it and not immediately feel masculine, but very feminine."
I mostly have the problem that the costumes were already done. Okay, they were already in a movie.
You know, I'm not necessarily coming down on one side.
Yeah,
I mean,
sure.
if I had to vote on which ones I thought just flat out looked cooler,
Sure.
I thought that the original, like the Wonder Woman costumes, looked way cooler than the ones that are in the Zack Snyder movie. But have you seen some of Zack Snyder's
Now,
movies?
Jeff did just text. He said it's like 100 years later.
Oh, well, so maybe the armor rusted. Their armor rusted, and this was all.
So, Jeff, you
So
pardoned
that's all
us,
they had
but
left.
they didn't, the armor wasn't available anymore.
The armor totally rusted, and in that battle in Wonder Woman on the beach, maybe their armor designer died, and so they're stuck on this island. They only have so much to work with.
Only so much fabric.
And the leather from the animals that they're killing.
No, it just seems like a Hollywood thing to do. And everybody was applauding Wonder Woman for being at least more feminist.
Feminist friendly?
Yes, yeah, like
Okay.
that. Where, again, with Hollywood stuff, you tend to get nothing. Like, at least there's clothes, I guess. At least there's something.
Well, yeah, that's something.
There
They're
is
dressed.
something. You're right. We should be appreciating it.
And you know what? Like, for the Amazons, they've picked athletes instead of models. So, like, is that...
Well, I think they probably had to with the stunts and stuff. So.
All right. Look, I'm just trying to help.
And I appreciate
I'm just
that, too.
trying to help.
But I could imagine being in a Hollywood meme, like, nah, redo them all. But, sir, we have... Nope.
No.
Go back.
I want to see more by having less. All right? Do you understand how we're getting more with less?
The worst of the riot is over, but the fun can keep going.
Hey, I saw you checking out my goods.
Check the Riot blog or stalk us on social media
You want to sample them? A little try before you buy, huh?
through riot.radiou.com.
Oh, if I was a younger woman.